Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Did you miss us? We certainly miss you. We miss you so much. We got together and went to the zoo. But now we're back. Spit face. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith, and Kevy Cab. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be back.
All right. Now, this week on Shout Out, we have performances from Tauree. Will he find his shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. We are still talking about the little birdies known as the New York Knicks. They have been flapping their wings everywhere. The Knicks won the NBA championship, and the New York fans have been partying all the way to the nation's 250 birthday celebrations. Knicks fan Taylor Swift even chose to get married at MSG. It's a wonderful time to be part of Knicks Nation. The Knicks were a team of destiny, but we wonder, will they be able to prove they are not one-hit wonders? Are the Knicks a one-and-done team? Which team in the East will likely unseat the reigning champs? By the way, will all the Knicks show up at the White House? George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Yeah, hey, we are on cloud nine as a New York Knicks fan, and I'm telling you, when you say everywhere, the Knicks have been everywhere. They've been about in every TV show after they won. They've been giving fans food at the different eateries. I mean, it's just been crazy in New York, to be honest with you. And that parade, man, all them people that showed up at that parade was something to behold. But the question is, are the Knicks a one-and-done team? You know what? It's very difficult to repeat as champions lately in the NBA. It's been like I can't remember, it's either 8 or 9 straight different champions. So it's going to be difficult for them. But unfortunately, fortunately to me, the Knicks are built to win and contend again. I mean, they have Jalen Brunson in his prime. He's established himself as one of the best playoff players in the league and just a top 10, I would say top 5 player in the NBA right now. You know, they still got Karl Anthony Towns. He's still an offensive weapon, and he actually improved his defense a little bit. You know, Mikal Bridges, OG, they're one of the better two-way wings to fit, you know, this modern basketball. So, you know, they have a culture there now. No longer with Tom Thibodeau, and it proves that coaching does matter. Coaching does matter because Mike Brown proved why the Knicks got rid of Tom Thibodeau, because he was very collaborative. He was so collaborative. Do you know he even relied on one of his a player that was on OKC last year when they won a championship, and he asked them, well, what did you guys do to try to win your championship and everything? And the guy, I'm sorry, I forgot his name right now, but he said that they actually showed pictures of them losing the year before when who did they lose to? They lost to, was it Minnesota? I think they lost to Minnesota. And he said they showed them losing. So what Brown decided to do, he took that advice and he decided to show the Knicks the videotapes of when they lost to the Pacers. And that actually instilled and basically helped them, motivated them to continue to win this championship. So, so that's about collaboration. That was the difference between Brown and Tibbs. But to me, the biggest factor for the Knicks to be competitive and to repeat is their health. If Brunson, Towns, Bridges, and Anunoby are healthy, yes, my Knicks can definitely repeat. Now, who could unseat them? Well, the East definitely got better. Everybody has made moves. The Miami Heat got Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Philadelphia 76ers, I mean, they really improved their roster. They got Jaylen Brown. Who else did they get? They got rid of Paul George, PG 13, whatever he used to call playoff PG, and they actually got Anthony Simons. That's a very good pickup for somebody to come off your bench. So if I have to look at the things and who would really give the Knicks a run for their money and who could unseat them, I would say it would be the Sixers if they can come together with the chemistry. And I'll put Miami number 2. Everybody's still talking about the Pacers, but I think the Pacers are not going to be as good as people think they're going to be. I think they will fall. So there's a lot of, the Wizards are pretty good. So the East is the beast now. Everybody's talking about the West Coast, but I think the East has definitely gotten better. So I would give the Sixers a chance to unseat the Knicks, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be the possibility that the Knicks can definitely repeat. I think they're built to win in the next 2 to 3 years. That was the whole plan with Leon Rose. And that's another reason why the Knicks did not go into the Giannis Antetokounmpo, to try to get him, because they felt they had a team that could compete and win a championship. And they made the right moves, and they are definitely correct. All right, Heavy Kev, are the Knicks a one-hit wonder?
I hate to rain on your parade. I mean, you guys are just knocking it out of the park. As you say, the Knicks are showing up everywhere, showing a whole bunch of New York love back to the city that, stayed in the stadium. They could have left when they were down 30-some-odd points, but they stayed there and cheered them on, and they were rewarded with the championship. So it's a great love story, without a doubt. But the harsh reality in the NBA, it is, as you say, the last team to repeat were the Warriors in 2017, 2018, and that team was loaded. They had several guys that are headed for the Hall of Fame off that respective team. And since then, not only has it become harder with the increase in talent, but the way in which they've now renegotiated the collective bargaining agreement has also made it much more difficult. So the odds would say the Knicks should enjoy this. They were very, very healthy. A lot of the teams in the NBA had nicks and bruises going throughout the playoffs, which is more the course. A lot of things went right for the Knicks. No shade as it relates to the talent on the team, but it's just the reality. It's very, very hard to repeat in the NBA. You got to play over 100 games. So I would say no. I don't think the Knicks are going to repeat. I think what we've seen is a lot of teams arm themselves and get better. Yes, you did get Drummond, but Drummond's about 3 to 4 years older than than Mitchell Robinson. So Andre is a little slower of foot, definitely a big body, but slower of foot and not as active, I don't think, as Robinson. The kid from Vanderbilt, he will be a nice addition out of their draft. But again, they didn't add as much as some other teams. You're definitely right about the East. The East, every team almost seems like they took a step forward to challenge them, which again, every round in the playoff probably just got ratcheted and just got that much harder. I'll be very interested to see kind of what happens with this season. If I were to pick somebody, I think maybe it is Detroit as a sleeper that learns what it means to have to bear down in every series, every game. They might be like what the Spurs did this year. They might have got a little taste of the playoffs, didn't like what they did from underperforming, and may overperform next year and make a run to the title. But I like your pick as it relates to the Sixers. They got Jaylen Brown. That's a big addition for the Sixers. They're going to look good. And while long-term, I don't think it's going to help the Celtics, I wouldn't count out the Celtics next year because every guy will have, just similar like Jalen's going to have, a little chip on their shoulder to see if they can do it better. We'll know more about Boston, though, in the first 20 games. If they don't get out of the chute fast, the Boo Birds and Celtics probably will pounce on them, and they might have a tough time for the year. But if they start out strong, it's a three-headed monster with Detroit, Boston, Philadelphia, with Toronto, with Kyrie, I can't even say it, Kyrie Leonard on the outside, and then Giannis as well on the outside, making some noise as a spoiler in the playoffs.
All right. Okay. So, Spitface, what's your take?
First lady, I feel you. I feel you because I remember when the Bulls finally won. Because we didn't have nothing. I'm gonna tell you, we just did not have nothing happening, and it was too early for the Kevy point guard out there, Hoffman the Space Schomburg shooting that deep three. It was we didn't have that era yet. But we did get the Michael Jordan here. And but that ain't but the next guy. They ain't got that. But I give them for this season, they were the team of destiny. And to come back from they are a great team, and they're gonna be in the cliffs as one of the greatest teams. Okay, so gotta give them that, the way they bounced back from and then just commanded in the playoffs. But a repeat is not in their future. I did put in a call to Miss Cleo, and I'm waiting to hear back from her. But it is not in the cards. And the last team to repeat was the Warriors. And I'm like, the team to do that before them, were they out of the East? It is just, it just ain't like that. And so Knicks fans, I'll just say this. They got a shot. That's what I'm saying, personally. They got a shot.
Okay, so I mean, both you and Kevy Kev think my Knicks are not going to repeat. Yes, odds against them repeating, but they really didn't have to make major changes because they're just bringing their championship team back. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson leaving was a big issue for them. Drummond is a very serviceable center. He obviously can't defend the way Mitchell Robinson can defend, but he can still rebound just as good as Mitchell Robinson. And guess what? He even can take an outside shot. Now, that's something Mitch can't do. Mitch can't shoot anything beyond the rim. So I think Drummond is going to add a little bit different center. He'll add something different that Mitch did not provide for us, and that's a little bit of offense. If we can get a little bit of offense out of Drummond, that would be worth his signing. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my fears and putting truckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Wrecking shop, but I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch to the World Cup naysayers who thought it was going to be a flop because of ICE and our ignorant president. And he'd be ignorant. He'd be ignorant. Fortunately, the international businesses have been partying, maybe even more than the Knicks fans. Maybe a little bit more. They were partying. There were some minor issues, there's a couple of things, that didn't look good, but they didn't get overblown anything. I mean, there was a ref who, the government, kind of, didn't, look at his papers right, so some things happened, but overall people, the international community is giving it a thumbs up. And I'm going to tell you, we need a thumbs up. Now, we seriously need, country's looking at us all side-eyed and stuff, like, what y'all up to? Y'all reacting like, like y'all ignorant or something. Now, speaking of USA, is this the year? Team USA takes the cup. Leroy Satchel Paige, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bear are asking, what you saying? First Lady, I'm looking at the situation, and I'm going, who's partying more? Those international visitors or the Knicks fans? And it's close. It's close. It really is close. But what I've determined is that the Knicks fans got jobs. They got to go to work. And if they live in New York, they better take their to work. So they ain't got time to be doing all the partying that the international visitors who are on vacation got time to party. So I'm giving. I got to give the international visitors the edge. Now, with Team USA, is this the year? No. Now, before I get deported, let me just explain something. They ain't won. And they ain't gonna win. So I'm just gonna be clear. They ain't won and they ain't gonna win. Not this year. All right. Kevin Cam, what you say?
Well, yeah, it's first off, the World Cup, for someone who does not follow soccer on the regular, this has really been a treat. The level of play has been fantastic. I really appreciated, as they say in England or in the United States, Cape Verde, but as they say in Portuguese or in Africa, Cabo Verde. Their game against Argentina, 3-2, that was magnificent. And I had to go look it up. I mean, that's a country that has just barely over 500,000 people, taking on one of the all-time powerhouses in World Cup play, down to it. I mean, it was just amazing. They pushed them to overtime. They pushed them to their very limit. So if Cabo Verde can do that, you have to think that maybe the United States could find a way to slay some of these all-time greats. And by the way, that's basically what's just left in the tournament. All the top 8 best teams by the book in Las Vegas are still in it. They all are looking strong. Mbappe from France looks like he is going to end this tournament as the all-time leader in World Cup goals as well. So it'll be very difficult. I don't want to count them out because they have played very well. But, hey, they're going to be down a guy today when they play Belgium. So let's keep it going. Let's see what happens. And hey, you're right. Let's try to get the state fair event going for the president so he can be distracted, so we can continue to enjoy the World Cup.
Thank you for putting that subtle nuance Uh, First Lady, what you saying?
Well, Kevin Ken stole my thunder because I definitely was going to talk about Cape Verde because, I mean, I watched all of their games, and they were fantastic. I mean, they did that country proud. It's a small island off Africa. The only reason why I know about Cape Verde, and let me tell you something about Cape Verde, that's where all the hurricanes begin, in Cape Verde. I don't know if people know that. When we get hurricanes in Florida, they come off the coast of Africa and they come from Cape Verde, and then they make their way through the Atlantic Ocean. But I will tell you, that team came through like a hurricane because people did not expect them to qualify for the World Cup. They are the smallest nation to qualify for the World Cup, and they have really played. And the crazy thing about it, their goalkeeper, Vosinha, might be pronouncing his name wrong, but prior to the World Cup, he had 43,000 people on Instagram. After the World Cup, do you know how many people, Instagram followers he has? 22 million. 22 million. That just shows you how vast this World Cup. It is the number one game in the country, in the whole world, as a matter of fact. In the United States, it's the number one sport that children play. However, it hasn't materialized in the United States from the professional side. I think eventually it will, and I'm going to say this, and I had recently said it to somebody. When all the baby boomers, and I'm a baby boomers, and when all the baby boomers and the earlier generation X, when we all leave this earth, that's when soccer will be number one in the United States. Because trust me, it's going to come. Soccer will be the number one game as far as on a professional level in the United States. All right, with that being said, it's going to be tough for the United States to win because, number one, they're without their number one striker, and that's Balogun. I mean, he was suspended. He got the red card, and he probably shouldn't have got it because they've already showed that Lionel Messi has done the exact same thing, and he didn't even get a yellow card. So we're at a disadvantage when we got to play Belgium on Monday. So it is going to be tough for the United States. They got a 50-50 chance. I mean, if they can get by Belgium without having their number one striker, yeah, they have a shot at it, but it's going to be tough. Like you said, Kev, all the top teams are still left in this competition, in the tournament. So, United States has never really, I'm trying to remember, have they won the World Cup before? I can't remember if they won the World Cup.
No, if they get to the final eight, that'll be the best.
That will be the best. Okay, yeah. On the women's side, that's a different story because our women's, soccer team is awesome. They've always been awesome. It's always been the men that's been a problem. So this year, people are very excited about the men's team because, they have some good players on there. But it's a very tough division, tough tournament. Argentina won 4 years ago. They're the reigning champs. And like you said, Cape Verde had just pushed them to the limit, so they are beatable. I mean, Messi is part of International Miami's MLS team, so he is the reigning champ. You got Mbappe on France, and Cristiano Ronaldo is still. Portugal is still in it. They probably got lucky and shouldn't have been in it, and they got help from the officials. So I don't think they're going to go far. Let's see if they can get past the Belgian game because that's going to be the tough game for them. If they can get past Belgium, they get to the 8, maybe they can get to the semifinals, maybe. But I think it's going to be rough for them to win this, to be honest with you. That's all I'm saying.
First Lady, I just want to make sure that we qualify those comments because I heard the President of the United States that we're the best, most fantastical people that ever existed in the existence of existence. So I don't want to get us in no trouble. okay? Kevin got grown kids he got to be around, but we can't have him locked up. We can't have a man locked up from his family.
I got a grown son too.
Yeah, but he got more than you. When Adam wife for that, he might have a dog. So I gotta watch out for y'all. We don't be. But Team USA won a damn thing. So that's how it goes. And then, you saw all sorts of chords that got struck. First you said that but the women team got them together. Now you know how touchy-feely they are about women. And you gonna bring that up. Now you got, them women, now, and then you brought up the issue with the red card. Oh, hell. We might end up having to have a recount. We got to make sure this don't turn into an international incident. Then the next thing you know, we bombing Belgium. No. We ain't going out like that. First Lady, you have the last word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from Tauree on Shout Out Part 1. Go USA.
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe. They get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Tauree.
On Shout Out, we feature independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. We are featuring music from Tauree and his album, Just Me. They say Tauree is a singer-songwriter from Long Island, New York. While technically considered a tenor, Tauree possesses a unique voice that has no boundaries. All right, DJ, let's hear Top of the World.
Feeling on top of the world when I'm with you tonight. I'm feeling on top of the world. Your love is taking me high, and all I wanna do is spend my life with you. That's what I'm gonna do when I'm with you. Ocean
All right, that's Tauree. Oh, I'm definitely shouting out. You know I like a man with a falsetto. Anytime anybody can sing falsetto, you know they within my heart. So I'll definitely shout it out. All right, Kevin Kev, you hitting the mute or you shouting it out?
I have to shout it out. I noticed how your voice became a little more silky there. I like that. I like the melodic tones as well. Nice vibe to the music. I'm going to be interested to see what else is on this album.
All right. All right, you shout it out. All right, Spitface, hitting the mute or shouting it out?
I'm giving it a shout out. And there is, I like the falsetto, but I'm just going to say that I'd like to hear my man with some jazz background. And it just seems like he got one of them cool voices, and because I can tell that, you know, he be coming from a hip place. And he might find that could end up being a groovy situation. So I'm shouting it out. I don't know what Dizzy Mac gonna do, but I'm shouting it out.
All right, Dizzy Mac, you hitting the mute or shouting it out? Okay.
I'm going to shout it out. Smooth, you know, very, very, you know, nice falsetto. So I'm looking to hear what else he has on his album.
All right, that's great. That's great. All right, on part 2 of Shout Out, we'll be featuring another performance from Tauree.
Free Mr. Bar.
All right. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
No one is free. It's why you and we are friends. Living a world full of wonder. Flying there all day. I never
All right. It's time for Flip It, while hosts defend the point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. All right. LeBron James has ended his career as a Laker, but says he will be playing next season. We wonder, who will come out better from this decision, the Lakers or LeBron? Defend. The Lakers. They can move on from LeBron without paying up and get the future going. Kevin Kev defend.
But the Lakers are going to come out better because they're going to try to do something which has not been done. It probably goes back to George Mikan, and that is have a team led by 3 individuals whose origin of country is on Trump's positive immigration list. Let that sink in for a minute. Right? Positive immigration list from these countries for the president. You probably have to go back to St. Louis or the Minneapolis Lakers, right, to have a situation where you have 3 white players as the stars of the team. I mean, this is going to be interesting in La La Land, a city which is about as racially, ethnically diverse as any in the entire country. Yeah, Luka is an immigrant. There's no doubt about that. But it's really a sight to behold that this is your new look Lakers. All seriousness, I mean, the Lakers are going to come out of this better in the medium term to long term because they are better positioning themselves in the luxury tax second apron world. But this first year, they're going to pay some dividends. They're going to pay some payments. Unless Luka can do something which he hasn't been able to do in a long time, and that's to play 65, 70 games when he's healthy. I look for this to be a bruising kind of season for the Lakers. But, after the storm, the sun will come out, and that's what the Lakers got to hope for. And that's why they're going to come out better in the medium term than what LeBron is going to come out this next year.
Okay, all right, Kevy Kev. Dizzy Mac, defend.
It's going to be a sight to behold. Again, LA is an interesting place. Having been out there, having kicked it out there, me and the Shimmy Shake girls, and it's going to be hard for them to replace them points by LeBron, them intangibles. It's going to be a tough situation. And I think LeBron is in it for the fun. One last payday, one last chance at chasing the title. I think LeBron will come out the winner because he will continue to do the things he's done. I think the defense, like I said, those intangibles are going to be hard to replace. And in a place like LA, it's going to be hard to get behind the United Nations out there. ICE everywhere, Trump everywhere. It's going to be hard. But I think LeBron has the big joker on his forehead.
The big joker is on his forehead. First Lady, defend.
Well, the question now, yes, is this going to be better for the Lakers to move on away from LeBron, the LeBron James experience? Yeah, definitely. Let's face it, the Lakers really didn't prioritize LeBron. And that's why, he said enough is enough. Think about it. If LeBron wanted to move on from the Lakers, he would have done that at the end of the season. He was angry that they didn't prioritize him over Austin Reeves, because when Austin Reeves agreed to that max contract, that's when LeBron said it's a wrap. He said, you guys got to move on without me. And, LeBron was a little bit salty about that. He really wanted to go back to the Lakers, but it's just the Lakers didn't want him. They wanted to move on from him. The thing is now without LeBron, the Lakers can breathe. They can breathe. They don't have that influence of LeBron James anymore. Because anytime you have LeBron on your team, it's all about him. Most organizations lose control, with the exception of the Miami Heat, because Pat Riley doesn't play that way because he doesn't believe in Rich Paul and LeBron taking over their organization. And that's why LeBron left after 4 years, because he could not dominate Pat Riley. But he was able to dominate in the Lakers organization. And that's another reason why they say he and Jeannie Buss had a fallout, because a couple of things. Number one was them signing Russell Westbrook. That was a fiasco. And Jeannie Buss never let LeBron forget about that. And then they really didn't want him to control things the way he and Rich Paul were controlling the things in the Los Angeles Lakers organization. So they're just going to be able to move on without having that influence of LeBron. Now, as far as the team, I love the way you put that, Kevy Kev. Just go ahead and say it. You need to be a little bit more direct, like Stephen A. Smith. You ain't going to win with 3 white guys as your top 3 players. That's what Stephen A. Smith said. You were very politically correct, Kevy Kev. I give you the hand for that. But the Lakers have moved on. You know, they can use LeBron's salary. So, you know, this is the one time that they had a chance to use his expiring contract and a chance to rebuild this team under Luka Doncic. So, yes, as Kevy Kev said, in the medium term, it will be good. Actually, I think in the long run, it's going to be good because anytime you're away from LeBron James' influence, you are free. Free.
Fly, little birdie, fly. All right, let's the script. LeBron, the Lakers are not winning a championship anytime soon. This gives him a final shot to win a ring, maybe as a Knick, helping them repeat. Dizzy Mac, the scene.
It's going to be up to that bouncing ball. But, you know, I think that you have enough firepower to help them at least win half the games. I honestly believe that, you know, they'll win half their games. It's going to be hard. J.R. Redick J.J. Redick is going to have to be creative. And he's going to have to work angles, mismatches. He's going to have to be lucky to be able to win out there in L.A. Hey, does somebody have a rabbit up their sleeves?
Just call him Bug. All right. I think we have a little technical difficulty with Dizzy Mac. First late, I'm not for Kevy Cast to see.
So for LeBron, we're talking about him, right? And again, all-time leading scorer, many records that he owns. There's reasons for us to be talking about him, but still, we're talking about him a lot more than we otherwise would. So to me, declaring free agency, telling his boy that he wants to take all offers, he'll listen to everybody, right? So now he's creating buzz in every NBA city throughout the nation, right? Again, why would that happen when everybody's got a nice Knick hangover from the NBA championship and the World Cup is going strong, right? Serena didn't have a deep run in Wimbledon, but it was a really short story, and I think in part because LeBron's dominating a lot of the media coverage that might otherwise go to other stories. So to me, LeBron is winning this moment, and it does give him a chance to get another ring. There's even talk here in Minnesota about him somehow coming to the Timberwolves for a season. Should he go to the Spurs just to cement it, to be the sage old man on the team, to be able to steer the ship when the storm gets a little rough? This is going to be a great opportunity, I think, for LeBron to kind of test the waters. Heck, I even heard that he might wait until the middle of the season and wait to see which team is best in need of his services at the halfway point, because he understands his body really needs to be preserved just for the playoff run. It's not a 100-game situation for him anymore. It's really focusing in on the playoffs. So to me, I'm out of LA. Let's face it, you don't want to grow old in Hollywood for a whole bunch of reasons, and that same true is for LeBron. He now has a chance to go out on top as a champion, and he gets to pick his terms on who he plays with. Life doesn't get any better for him. Heck, Bronny Jr. might even get a chance to get a little benefit as well, and gets a chance to maybe ride off into the sunset with his dad or with another championship.
Well, Kevin, you say Bronny may be able to ride off with him. That doesn't say a lot about Bronny's future, so without Dad being around. But hey, if the president can do nepotism, LeBron can do it better.
Right.
First Lady, please defend.
Let's face it, the Lakers are not winning a championship anytime soon because of the decisions they just recently made after LeBron said he's not coming back. Number one, giving Austin Reeves a max contract because he's not a max player. Number two, giving Utah Jazz a massive haul for Walker Kessler, and then compounding it by giving him a max contract when he's only played 5 games because he had a season-ending shoulder injury last year. He's not a max player. However, it's a big thing, too, because we're talking about this is Luka Doncic's team. The question becomes whether LeBron leaving, if Luka will still be motivated to maintain his conditioning. He is due for a max contract, again, with the Lakers, and that's a major, major contract that's coming up for him. So the Lakers are not going to win a championship with this mediocre core, and I consider them to be a mediocre core because they're going to be okay, but they're not going to be able to win a championship. However, basically, like Kev said, LeBron can dictate where he wants to go. Every time he's done this, he's won a championship. He left Cleveland for Miami, won 2 championships. He left Miami to go back to Cleveland. He finally was able to give them a championship. He left Cleveland, went to L.A., won a championship, even though it was a bubble, because I always put an asterisk next to that championship. But LeBron is still considered a top 15 to 20 player in the league. Some might say he's top 10. I consider him to be 15 to 20. And the thing is, with this particular time for LeBron to win a championship and to pick a team to go to, he doesn't have to be the number 1 player anymore. He can dominate in stretches. He is going to be 42 before the season is ended, but he doesn't have to be that number 1 player. Health will be critical for him. Normally, he has been healthy, as far as not having major health issues. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, he's had a couple of health injuries, but we'll see. I think if his health stays consistent, he should be able to get another championship. And it's about the roster. It's typically about the team that he goes to, the team that basically need him. To be honest with you, the Miami Heat needs him the most because they do need a point guard right now. He could be that point forward like he was before. So, that's the type of team he needs. But, we don't know where he's going to go. They've been talking about all this. And like you said, Kev, it's all about LeBron. He always dictates his narrative. And then you're right, everybody's talking about him. And, of course, when Max Kellerman and Rich Paul had their podcast, they had that whiteboard up. That was ridiculous, to be honest with you. Really ridiculous. Really. You saw the teams that they had, and they had Golden State completely out of the outskirts of where the teams were, the best teams for him. And we have a feeling that he's probably going to go to Golden State to play with the Chef, because that's where that's where I think he really wants to go. They're just a little bit long in the tooth, so I don't know how they have a chance to win, but I think his heart wants to play with Steph Curry. But anyway, so like you said, Kev, he's winning. They're talking about him, and he's winning. He always likes to control his own narrative, and he has. I mean, I don't know if you've seen all the things he's been posting on the social media, him dancing in the club, him riding in his car. On LeBron, just tell us where you want to go. I mean, one thing, though, I'm glad for the NBA. They are not holding up their free agent signings because of LeBron. They did that once. They did it twice. This time, they didn't do it. So I'm actually glad that they are moving on without LeBron because this man is so much about himself. All right. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
He all about himself. You selfish dog. You're selfish. That's right. Look in the dictionary and pull up the definition of selfish, and there's a picture of you on it. First Lady, over to you for more flip it.
The NFL season hasn't started, but there is already chirping about Jalen Hurts and whether he is an elite NFL quarterback. We wonder, is Jalen underappreciated and underrated? Defend. Jalen is not an elite quarterback. He is a product of an elite system. On another team, he might be a backup. Dizzy Max, defend.
Dizzy Mac had technical difficulties.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. All right. Well, Spitface, defend.
And, I won't say unfortunately. Jalen plays the way he be playing. And he's in a system where it really isn't designed for the quarterback to be like a quote, elite quarterback. So we got to look at what qualifies you as elite. And most of it is going to be passing, a lot of passing, a lot of yards, and given the nature of that Philly system, they run the ball, and he run the ball. And but his running the ball is not the same as that quarterback, for the Ravens. And if it was toward that direction, I could consider him being an elite QB. But it makes you wonder if he was in some other place, would he be elite? Or would he be riding that pine? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, if he'd be riding that pine. All right, Kev. Jalen Hurts is not an elite quarterback. Defend.
So we're gonna find out whether he's truly an elite quarterback, and it begs the question of how you define elite, and especially when we're talking about the current crop of elite quarterbacks in the league, starting with I guess was he the best man at the big wedding in New York City? Are you able to disclose any details? I know you were there at the wedding, First Lady. You know which one I'm talking about, right? Are you able to?
Yeah, I know which one.
Okay.
I wouldn't think he would be the best man.
I would hope so, right?
I would think his brother would have been the best man. No, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I did not have to go. I had a Knicks engagement I had to go to.
Okay. All right. You and James Dolan kicking it again. I get it. I got you. So within that space, elite quarterback, is Jalen Hurts in the top 3 in the current crop of quarterbacks in the NFL? I don't know if everybody takes him among the top 3, even though he has a Super Bowl ring, and in the other game, his stats were better than Patrick Mahomes. But yet, I don't know if people think of him in the top 3. So if we're defining the elite of your time, elite as to like the top three, he may fall short of that. Is he a system gimmicky quarterback? I don't think so, but the case could be made that he is, and that we need to find out once Mr. Brown has now taken his skills to the Patriots. We'll find out. Is he just kind of a tush-push star running back and a guy with a good deep ball, but not really good on the touch passes? The quarterback that comes to mind, again, outstanding All-Pro, outstanding NFL Super Bowl champ, and I think he might even have been an MVP of the Super Bowl, was Mark Rippon of the Washington, now different name team. Rippon was a guy always on the short list for being an All-Pro every year and year out. Jalen might be a little bit better, but I don't think when we think back in time, I don't know if Mark Rippon becomes on the short list of elite NFL quarterbacks. And that's kind of, I think, where he is right now. Hard to imagine any elite NFL quarterback being replaced by Nick Saban. And Jalen, unfortunately, has that distinction. So there'll always be, I think, for some of us, a little bit of a question. Does he really belong among the top of the very best?
All right. Kevy Ken bringing out Mark. What is it, Mark? I bet he bringing out Washington, D.C. Name and pass. All right.
Yeah. Now, when Washington had a team with a prejudiced name instead of a president who was just straight up prejudice.
Okay. Well, Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback, but I don't consider him to be an elite quarterback. And the reason why is because he's benefited from a very strong supporting cast. The roster, they have an elite offensive line, have elite talented receivers, an elite running back, and quality coaches. So he didn't have to do too much. So he is not an elite quarterback. Like you said, Faith, that system is a system that's not built around Jalen Hurts' offense. It's built around a running game. And, you know, he's done a lot of RPOs and quarterback runs and different things like that. And, you know, Hurts, he's rarely asked to carry an offense by throwing the ball 40 to 50 times. And, you know, the way like how Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen often have done. So that's the reason why you can't consider him to be an elite quarterback. And, you know, he truly, to me, doesn't elevate the roster that he's given. That's what an elite quarterback does. An elite quarterback can elevate that roster. You're winning because of that quarterback, like Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. You're not winning because of Jalen Hurts. So that's to me differentiates being an elite quarterback. So, but we're gonna flip this script. All right. If there are quarterbacks with better stats, like that guy in Dallas, but Jalen has what he wants, a Super Bowl ring, Jalen is an elite quarterback his way. All right. Kev, defend.
Well, now when we think of elite quarterbacks of all time, I think we have to think of folks like Montana. We have to think of Johnny Unitas, right? These players, right, they elevated their respective teammates. They were gritty. They weren't always flashy, but they figured out how to win the game. You don't get points for being flashy in the NFL. You get points for driving the football down the other team's throat and figuring out how to score, sometimes in the muck, sometimes when it's raining, sometimes when it's bitterly cold, right? those guys that are able somehow to will their teammates to a different level, to will themselves to do something that they didn't think that they could do because of the elements, or just staring across some of the meanest shut your mouth sort of superfly guys, right, on the field, they're somehow able to do that. Those are the guys that we say are the best of the best, the elite. And by that measure, Jalen's won a ton of games as a quarterback. He has performed exceedingly well, winning games in the playoffs. The stats aren't as high as you would like. They're not as gaudy as some others. But the one stat that he is performing very well on is the one stat of wins and losses. And his teams are winning more often than not in the respective playoffs. So, yeah, you can take all the gaudy numbers of the most highest paid quarterback in the league playing in Dallas, or would you rather have some wins? And that's when you get to the conversation of where you want to be, I think, as a fan, and that gives you to Jalen. Jalen's an elite quarterback. End of discussion. He wins.
All right. He wins. All right, Spitface defend. Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback his own way.
It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring. it just don't. Ask Joe Burrow. Ask that cat up in Buffalo. Ask the cat here in Texas. And I'm not talking about the one that play in Houston because he's yet to do anything either. But the thing that Jalen Hurts has is that he took his team to the Super Bowl. You know, not some other quarterback. Nobody else was taking them to the Super Bowl. He took his team to the Super Bowl. And, as Brother Malcolm say, by any means necessary. If you got to hit me on the butt, do whatever it takes, brother. Do whatever it takes, brother. But we going to move this ball forward and win. So, and I dare say, I know this will sound insane, but maybe the Ravens would have won a couple of Super Bowls if they had Jalen instead of Lamar. Just maybe. It could be that way. Because the proof is Jalen got a ring, Lamar don't. So, what is the and as I think one that Raiders guy, just win, baby. Just win. That's all I'd say.
Okay, just win, and you don't have a thing if you don't got that ring. I hear you, Spitface, hear you. You can argue that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback, but like in his own way. I mean, he's not. He doesn't make the plays like Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, but he's elite because he wins consistently. I mean, you are judged by winning rings and how often you are winning. That's, to me, the most successful way that you can determine whether a quarterback is elite. He's elite in his decision making. He knows how to protect the football. He avoids negative plays. He's one of the best running quarterbacks in NFL history. So he knows when to drive, when not to drive. And he is just a playoff performer. He's a winner when it counts the most in the playoffs. He's won a ring. Like you said, Spitface, he's a champion. And leadership matters. Because when you have a quarterback that can lead your team, doesn't have to be leading as far as making spectacular plays, but his leadership in the locker room, his leadership on the field, that matters. So with all that being said, he is an elite quarterback. End of conversation. All right, Spit Face, over to you. Please take us a
All
break.
right. Okay. All righty. Here on the other side of the break, we have another performance from Tauree on Shout Out Part 2. Please, please, please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, all right. On the second part of Shout Out, we are featuring another track from Tauree and his album, Just Me. Let's hear Getaway. You know, first lady, sometimes I'm willing to just get away. I don't know where I'm going to get away to, but what I'm going to do. But I'll be ready to break out my earth if I get away. All right, let's hear Getaway from Tauree.
Cause you don't know what you do to me. It ain't always sunny. Shadows dance in my periphery, and I don't know what to do. I forgot about myself, turned into someone else, trying to get away from oblivious to the demons you've unleashed in me. But it's not that serious, I'll get over it eventually. And I don't know what to do. I forgot about myself, turned into someone else, trying to get away from you. I'm endangering myself, and I know it isn't healthy. While the flames burn inside, keeping me alive, barely breathing at all. Watch the ashes fall, and I don't know what to do. I forgot about myself, turned into someone else, trying to get away from you. I'm endangering myself, and I know it isn't healthy. I don't know what to do. I forgot about myself, turned into someone else, trying to get away from you. I'm endangering myself, and I know it isn't healthy, and I don't know what to do. I forgot about myself, turned into someone else, trying to get away from you. I'm endangering myself, and I know it isn't healthy. I don't know what to do. I forgot about myself, turned into someone else, trying to get away from you. I'm endangering myself, and I know it isn't healthy.
All right, that was Get Away. And First Lady Kebby Cab, I'm listening to the track, and I heard this in the previous track. Takes me back to now I know I'm a little bit older than y'all, you know. Okay, all right, so don't try to rub it in, you know. I got 1 or 2 years on somebody, you know. or more, But just 'cause me and old Grumpy was hanging back, in the days when suspenders was popular, don't mean much. But it took me back to my rock roots. I kind of, I'm a kid of, the flower power generation. Love and all that good stuff. From back in the day. Earth, Wind, and Fire singing. Let the flowers grow. We was in on it. We was, can you dig it? And he took me back to the Doors and John Morrison. And I was like, I could see, and then that group, the Moody Blues. So it was like, kind of took me to that era and stuff. But it was groovy. It was groovy. And I think we're going to hear a little more diversity from Brother Tauree. So I'm shouting it out. First Lady, the void.
Oh, I'm definitely going to shout it out. Definitely going to shout it out. Like I said, he didn't sing this one in falsetto, but he has a nice voice, smooth voice. So I'm definitely shouting it out.
All right. Kebby Kev, are you getting away or shouting it out?
I'm shouting it out, but I'm going to the Urban Dictionary to try to find Moody. What'd you say? Moody Blues? Is that what you said it was?
Oh, the Moody Blues. Nights in white satin. See, there was a time when I was told that right. I could have a career, but it didn't have nothing to do with my ass trying to sing.
It's a different type of career.
But it was a career. All right. And,
I like it when artists have different types of songs. So I appreciate this one within the collection. So I'm interested to hear what the album sounds like.
All right. Now, and that's why we go, send them in. We'll get them played. But we do want to present something. On shout out, we say that we bring new artists on to give folks a chance to be heard. And Tauree, we played his music, this music back in 2020. So, that's kind of how long, Rise Panties is sports. But today, for whatever reason, we decided to play those tracks. And what it brought out was the president of my own Little World Records called in, Mr. John Van Ness, called in to let us know that the gentleman, Tauree, was died as a result of a carjacking. And we don't have the details of when that occurred, but there are no accidents in the universe. And he was thankful that whatever spirit moved us to play Tauree's music today, let's just say that there's some good there. That whatever Tauree created, the spirit, the world, wants it to be heard. And thank goodness for this medium that we have today that we can do that. We may put up our silly videos and, things that matter. But, you never know what you're doing and the impact it has on someone else. So we're just thankful that Mr. Van Ness reached out to us to let us know that, and salute Tauree. Thank you. And we'll play some more of his music. First Lady, I think, I get to turn it back over to you. Or,
All
you know,
right.
y'all can share whatever y'all want. I got to throw that in there. I got Kevin Cam, First Lady, but over to you guys.
Okay, it's time for the hardwood picks winner, and let's go over this. So coming in the rear, last place. I might came in last place, but my team came in number one. That's the First Lady. I had 65 million points, but I came in last place. The next third place winner was Kevy Kev with 300 million points. And Spitface, you came in second with 420 million points. So, unfortunately, he had technical issues, but he is the hardwood winner for 2026. It is a Dizzy Mac with 550 million points. Congratulations to Dizzy Mac. What did you say, Spitface?
I let him off the hook.
Oh, okay, yeah. That actually, matter of fact, the last picks were, I did well, but unfortunately, when it came to those other picks, you know, obviously Dizzy Mac and I picked the Knicks to win. You and Kevin Kev picked the Spurs to win, but you guys did well when it came to the overs and unders and all of that. So and Dizzy Mac also did okay. All right, so we'll see how we do. I think we're going to do baseball picks. That's going to come later on, so stay tuned for that. All right, what is the top story to watch this week? Kevin Kev, what is your top story to watch?
Top story to watch is LeBron signs with the T-Wolves.
Yeah. You know, it's all about LeBron. It's all about LeBron.
About LeBron. Selfish LeBron. All right, Spitface, what's your top story to watch?
Will Team USA live to play another round?
Okay. So, my top story to watch is the issues going on with the WNBA and with Caitlin Clark and all of the negative imagery that's been going on with the WNBA. And I'm going to actually talk about it as my women's empowerment message. You know, the WNBA players recently were selected for the starters for the All-Star. The team is the starters are chosen by the fans, media, and players vote. And Caitlin Clark, who is averaging 21.2 points per game, which is number 5 in the league, and she is second in assists at 8.2. She was the 11th pick in the players' ranking versus second in fan and third in media. So we have a problem in the WNBA, and I'm going to say shame on the WNBA players for their voting and for what's going on with this Caitlin Clark situation. By far, she is one of the most polarizing players in professional sports right now, and it's not because of her. I think really it's because of how the WNBA players are accepting Caitlin Clark. For some reason, they do not like Caitlin Clark, and I really think that they need to come on board because say what you want to say. When Caitlin Clark came into the league, this is when this league really, really took off. Now, that's some of the issues I believe the players have with Caitlin Clark, but that's not her fault. The fans started watching it. She was very popular in college, and it just carried over into the WNBA. Be thankful that your league is at its highest peak, one of its highest peaks. Therefore, you need to embrace all the players, and that includes Caitlin Clark. Join the ride. Be thankful for your ride that you're getting with fans and what's going on in the WNBA. But when you have all this negativity and towards one person and towards Caitlin Clark, who really is your cash cow right now, you need to embrace it. So that's my message to the WNBA players. All right, check out our current and previous episodes at bras.panties.and-sports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface, and Kevy Kev. And Dizzy Mac, you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.